Yo, does this thing have weed in it? Cause I feel high, man.
No, it's fine.
For sure.
Okay, sick. So, for the people that don't know you, who are you and what do you do?
Got you. Well, my name is Aboo Nguyen, and I run Jooniverse Lab and a fashion designer.
Hell yeah. And so, what kind of fashion do you make?
More of just like everyday wear, you know. That's kind of like the whole vibe that I wanted to do for Jooniverse. A little bit of everything for everyone, for your everyday life.
Yeah, and actually, let me throw back on
Yeah.
the shirt that I got from your last drop.
Hell yeah. No,
Gotta represent a little bit.
Absolutely.
And so, what inspired like your clothing, pretty much?
I think it was just more of just like I wanted to make pieces for just for everyday people, you know what I mean? Just for the super essential lifestyle vibes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just cozy, comfy.
it's definitely like you could just tell because it's like it's good quality, just everyday pieces you can always wear, but there's like so much just like thought that goes into like the cuts and the proportions, the sizing.
Yeah.
You know, it's the things that really help to elevate it and modernize it, because I feel like a lot of essentials are kind of lazy nowadays, where it's just like just too long or just too sloppy or like you know. And I appreciate the fact that like with like just say for example your regular sweaters and stuff, it's a little cropped proportionally. It just looks better and nicer, and or then things like a slightly longer cozier sleeve that kind of just like drapes,
Right.
you know, and just stuff like that.
I think it's just, you know, making something that just really flows really well with the body. It's like what we really work on and perfecting in the boxy cut, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm very happy with how everything turned out. And I think it's just like the way that we present our collections is like what really brings people in and like, yeah.
Yeah, and so did you have any like major inspirations when it came to just starting to create clothes?
Yeah, just, you know, Virgil, whenever he was just like, man, you can do this too, you know, like I was just like, oh shit, like this is it. Like if he said that, I was like, oh my God, like that will always be like something that inspired me because it just like lit a fire in me because it just made me believe that I could do it, you know?
Yeah, and so I guess when was that like turning point for you where you're like, you know what, I can do this and I'm just gonna start on it?
It was like definitely during like COVID. I remember just waking up and I was just like, man, what am I good at? What am I, you know, what are the people that follow me? What do they follow me for?
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? I don't have any money right now, but I was just like, let's just try it. So I just basically came up with like, you know, some bootleg anime tees, and then that kind of just basically funded the projects for Jooniverse now.
Okay. And so how many years has it been now? Like what, 3 years?
Going on 3.
Hell yeah.
We're on our 3rd year.
So what do you think has been the biggest thing you've kind of just like learned from this experience over the past 3 years?
I would say just the business side of it, you know, just more of like, you know, doing like, you know, the marketing, I would say has been like the biggest challenge for sure, because it's just like, yeah, you can be creative and you can have the best photos and, you know, HD, all that, but it's like if you don't know how to market anything or well, then it's not going to go anywhere. And I think that was like the biggest challenge for Jooniverse.
And it makes sense because, as you said, you could be really good at creations.
Yeah, dude, like
but not understand shit about business.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm kind of like in that boat right now where like I've been trying to just learn more about the industry and like, you know, thinking about stuff like sourcing materials or like finding manufacturers, you know, considering like all the different outlets of stuff like that. And so I guess what helped you learn about all of this, like YouTube videos or just talking to people or just trial and error by yourself?
Yeah, a lot of, you know, trial and error. And of course, people along the road, but I definitely went to school for it for some time to learn how to like pattern make and, you know, sketch and all that stuff. And I kind of just took it and just ran with it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay, awesome. And so you went to school for it, like, was that like an online thing or did you go in person?
In person. This is like pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID. Oh,
yeah.
So it was already like on your mind before then.
Yeah. So it's always something that I always wanted to do, and you know, it just took a lot of years of like learning and a lot of trials and errors. As you know, I said before, it's just the process and the journey has been very interesting, I would say.
Yeah. No, it's sick. And like, I feel like it's definitely like showing through, like, it's just because I feel like you're already such a big, almost like integral part of the Dallas creative community, right?
I
Like,
appreciate that.
you have like your pockets in like so many different groups of people, and then
Right.
like people just know about your brand and they just know about you and stuff like that. And so I guess, what does that, I guess, kind of feel like to you?
I just like to think of it like, you know, everyone that I meet, I try to treat them the way that I would like to be treated. It's just like more like family, you know what I mean? So this whole Dallas community has just been a huge family
Yeah.
experience. You know, we just have a lot of brothers and sisters, and you know, it's just been very blessing to just have their support. You know, even your support coming out today and shooting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So it's just been,
100%.
it's just awesome.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And okay, so did you grow up here in the DFW area? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. And so I guess what kept you here all this time?
I would just say a lot of it would be like family. But at the same time, like I've been to New York and LA, and I thought back then when in my 20s I wanted to be there, but I was just like, there's just a community here in Dallas that can just be bigger than that. And you know, I think it's kind of like overlooked a lot, and when it comes in terms of like you know, fashion, you know, you don't really think of Dallas. And it's just like, I feel like, you know, I can build a really nice community here as a kind of like an HQ, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I definitely agree in that whenever people think about fashion and stuff, one of the last places they'll think is Dallas.
Dallas,
because,
Texas.
Like most of the people here, you know, they don't try.
Yeah.
Like, of course, people care about how they dress, but it's like not as creative for the most part.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's just like a lot of like big box brands or whatever for the most
Yeah,
part. Like,
for sure. Like the big names and stuff like that.
yeah, a lot of people kind of have that mindset here of like wanting to blend in as much as they can to be as
Yeah.
cohesive as possible to not stand out.
Right.
Which I personally always struggled with because it was also kind of the same in like Austin, the part of Austin I grew up in most of my life, right?
I didn't know you were from Austin.
Oh yeah, I grew up in Austin,
sick.
born in Houston, but grew up in Austin, lived in like all white southern country neighborhoods and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And
It's
so
different lifestyle, you know what I mean?
it really is. And so stuff like this, like fashion and stuff, it just wasn't on the radar. It's like you got dressed like a man or whatever, you know?
Yeah, just like your button up, you know,
Yeah,
slacks,
jeans,
Yeah.
whatever. And so I guess, what was that whole experience like for you, just growing up here with fashion, and what I guess got you interested in fashion originally?
Okay. So I lived in Dallas for most of my life, but whenever I moved to LA for a year during my freshman year of high school,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so that's whenever I was just like truly inspired by fashion. Like, you know, I used to wear like Hollister and Abercrombie and Fitch and all that stuff. And then when I went to LA, everyone was just wearing like super cool t-shirts and like snapbacks and like super dope sneakers. And I was like, what is this? Like, what is going on, you know?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think that was like where it sparked. And like, I was just like, I remember going through colleges to kind of just see what career path you wanted to do and all this stuff, like in high school in LA. And I just remember I was just like, man, I just want to do fashion. Like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know? And when I came back here, I started dressing differently than all my friends. And, you know, at first they were just like, oh, dude, you dressing weird. So, you know, I feel like it was like, dude, what are you wearing? You know, and I was just like, nah, man, this is cool, man. Skinny jeans are cool. You know? And then like, eventually I just never gave up on that. I just kind of it created like an image, and I just created who I was, you know, and I was just like, I knew that I was just different, and I was okay with that, you know, and I was, you know, and it made me who I am today, and don't regret it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I feel like when you really just embrace who you really are and stuff and what you truly love, you'll attract the right kind of people.
Exactly.
You know, right, genuine people.
You'll attract like the people that are just like you, and you know, especially like photographers here, like, you know, work with some of the amazing people, models as well, like yourself, you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, you find your little family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been super fun.
Yeah. And what has it been kind of like, I guess, growing up with like, you know, Asian family household and stuff, and traditional values and all that. And how does that kind of like fit in now with the whole fashion pursuing thing, you know?
Well, my dad was an artist, but he was always like very, you know, rooting for me, like in my like,
really?
you know, in my creative path. But like my mom was like definitely the one that was just like, yeah, you need to go to school and become like a doctor or something. And I was just like,
Yeah.
I can't. I was like, that's just not me, you know?
Yeah.
And I told her I wanted to do fashion, and she was just like, that's stupid. And, you know, even till this day, you know, she's not even supporting it.
Oh, really?
She just doesn't think it's something that's, how do I say it? It's like something that's reliable in money or something like that. It's not consistent. I guess it's more like consistent. Yeah.
Stable.
Stable. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, it's very interesting. But you know, me growing up now, I just realized that I was just like, you know, like I'm doing this for me. At the end of the day, like it makes me happy, and you know, I don't need her, you know, her approval, you know, of it. But you know, at the same time, it's just it's been very hard in the, I guess, like in the house with like, you know, Asian parents, stuff like that, because they just like, you know, like, no, you shouldn't you shouldn't have tattoos, you know, you shouldn't be like, you know, quitting school, like why are you pursuing fashion, stuff like that, like just putting all these thoughts into your head, making it seem like you could fail. But it's just like I knew that I couldn't fail if I just really put my heart into it, you know. And it's like something I truly loved doing, and I was just like, I'm not going to change that.
Yeah, and that's awesome though, like you really truly believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And, like, well, just keep pushing yourself. And so like, I guess what's kind of kept you from burning out and staying passionate about it for so long?
I don't know. I just think that to me, I just feel like the job isn't finished yet, and like I just always feel like I'm very like unsatisfied. I'm very hard on myself, you know. So it's just more of just like, well, this was good. Like, you know, this last collection was good, but I could do better. And I think that the mentality that I have is just like, you know, always perfecting the craft and doing it has just been keeping me going. And at the same time, I have a lot of, you know, friends and family that just like really support me and truly believe in me. So it's just like, to me, I just like don't want to let them down. You know what I mean? So I just keep going.
Yeah, having that big creative community support behind you.
Yeah, you know, and
Eyes are on you.
man, it's just like, if you have like your friends and family supporting you and cheering you on, bro, like you can't fail, bro. There's no room to fail. You can't fail.
Yeah.
Right? You know, it's just like, how can you fail when there's so many people that believe in you truly, you know, and like really see the potential that you have. And it's just been a very, you know, great to just be surrounded by those kind of people, like, you know, like yourself and everybody else here, you know.
Yeah. Everybody off camera.
Yeah, off camera, like, you know.
So. On that, they're totally fine because I'll edit the audio and shit.
Perfect.
You know, regardless. But okay, so it's obviously a really hard industry to just be in and stuff, and like you're constantly like, you literally just had your last drop like not even like a couple months ago, right? And you've just been consistently doing thing after thing after thing,
Right.
right? So I guess, what do you do to like schedule everything out and to keep yourself, of course, once again, from burning out, and to like just take care of yourself through this whole process?
You know, I do a lot of like design nights on Mondays, so that's like
okay.
usually like at night, like, you know, I bring, you know, the homies over and we just all get creative and just talk about things, talk about concepts, and everyone has like their own thing that they're doing too. So it's just really nice to be surrounded by people that are just like want to do things. And also, like, you know, just working out, it's been very helpful, you know, just keeping my mind just away from everything for a second and just focus on just like the workout and just finding that balance, you know. So I think that's pretty much it.
Okay, awesome. So obviously right now, like with being where you're at and stuff, as the brand's been growing and changing and stuff like that.
Right. I appreciate that, man. I said I appreciate that, man.
Oh yeah, no, of course. And like, so I guess, what do you think, what would be like your big goal with your brand and stuff? Do you have like big ideas for that, or you kind of just take it step by step at this
For
point?
sure. Like I would love for it to be like very worldwide and, you know, have storefronts and whatnot. But I think eventually, like I always tell people this and they're just like, that's what? Like that's the goal? And I was like, yeah. But I I honestly would like to build the company big enough to where somebody would just buy me out.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I have this like certain number in my head, and honestly, like I would just be like, bet, I'll just take that,
Yeah.
and I did my part. You know, I've done what and I just start a new chapter in life, and you know, just ghost, just go ghost, and just be like, all right, man, I did what I had to do, and put all my creative stuff into the world, and some people, you know, have people appreciate it and whatnot, and I think that would just be enough, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
So that's like kind of like the goal for Jooniverse. It's just like kind of just building it up to the point where it's just like, you know, eventually it'll just, you know, be sold for a really good price, and I can just, you know, live my life the way I want it to.
Yeah.
Just relax and just start a family or something like that. You know, just shit like that.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, that's it. And just be like, you know what? I did I did everything that I wanted to do in life. And, you know, now it's just like, what's the next thing that I want to achieve? You know?
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. And like, so I guess going back a little bit, obviously grew up in Dallas and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Where it's like for the most part, very clean cut and all that shit, especially Asian household. What, I guess, started you on like your whole tattoo journey as well?
Like the tattoo journey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in LA, and I blame my cousin for this, so. But I remember he just, you know, got done, you know, taking a shower, and he was just like, I remember he had this crazy back piece, and I was just like, yo, what the hell? And he had like this, like, you know, scale, like this tail, like going around his leg, and I was like, yo, what? And I remember I was just like in high school, and I was just like, man, I'm just gonna be filled. I just want to fill up my whole body with art, you know. And that's whenever it kind of just started. And I just started with like one piece, like which was this, and then I basically started building the arm, and then like after that, I was just like you know, just all over, you know. And yeah, I just feel like it's just a part of who I am, you know. And I just feel like it's just kind of just identified me, because I think like in high school, like I was just like this like super scrawny kid. Even though I am still very like skinny and stuff like that, but like back then I was even skinnier.
I don't think you're skinny as fuck, dude.
Oh.
Not at all.
But I mean, like back then I was very scrawny, and I just felt like I didn't know who I was inside of my own skin, and I was just like, man, I feel like I want to express like the creative person that I am, and you know, having these tattoos just gave me that confidence in a sense, you know.
Yeah. No, I 100% relate to that.
Yeah, because you got some pretty sick tattoos too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, just collecting all throughout my body.
Yeah, it's like a collection, you know. It's like your body's a canvas, and you know.
Yeah.
I was just like, fuck it, let's paint it.
100%. And it's a little bit of that, like, I guess rebellious side too, where I'm like, I know that I feel different on the inside.
That's exactly.
And so I
what
just
it was, yeah.
I want to like just actually slowly project that outwards, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like have that mental image of who I am on the inside match the physical
right 100%.
Image that I have.
Yeah.
So I guess what did you have like any big goals when it came to like getting all your pieces done? Because I noticed a lot of them are like Japanese traditional in a sense, and like but then also a little bit of like a mix with like neo as well.
I think I just like originally wanted like a whole full Japanese bodysuit, but then I eventually just like liked so many different artists, and I think it was just like different phases in my life that I was going through, you know. I was just like, oh, I went through like this anime phase, you know, and I have like this like whole anime piece, you know, done by my boy Gio, and
Gio Berserk. Oh, fuck yeah.
So that's the homie, and you know, we were just doing it and just having a good time, and I was like, you know what, I just kind of want to start building just random pieces. I just wanted, like, all my friends that did tattoos, I was like, I want your like art on my body, like I want to support you in that way, you know. And yeah, just I honestly kind of like wish that I would have backtracked a little bit whenever I was just first getting my tattoos. I wish I would have just done like all black tattoos.
Oh, okay.
And just more like American traditional, like just like stamps in a sense, you know, like where it's just like a little bit everywhere. But I'm still happy with how it looks now. So
is there a reason why you would have wanted to do something different?
I think it's just like how I just viewed, I don't know, I just feel like maturing now. I was just like, oh, that, I feel like that look would have been cool too, you know. But I'm just like, well, you know, I still can add a couple pieces here and there, but you know, it's not the end of the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that. And I feel like that's always something people worry a lot about too. Like, oh, what if I regret it? Or, oh, what if I
Yeah.
want something. No, just fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to change no matter what.
Yeah, it's just like a journey, you know what I mean? It's just like I feel like every tattoo that I have just has like a little story behind it. And I feel like that's kind of like just interesting in itself, you know, it's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, because likewise, like, I at this point will only get tattoos if I have some sort of meaning or story behind it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because I know like I'm not gonna like it as much then later on. Like, 'cause I don't have like one single tattoo that I don't
Yeah.
like. I'll throw a picture up, whatever, and like it literally means fucking nothing. And it's just it takes up such good real estate.
Yeah, honestly, you can always get a
Blast it over it.
Yeah, blast it over.
I'm just, I guess, but and I always personally like knew from the beginning though I wanted to just stick with just black and gray. Because I knew when it came to fashion and stuff, it would be so much easier to find clothes and stuff, so I didn't have to worry about colors and stuff like
Right,
that, looking
okay.
like weird and shit.
That makes sense.
And so, but
Like monotone, like it's just very monotone. It's just easier.
yeah, just
Okay.
more of blank canvas.
Yeah, for sure.
I quote unquote blank.
Yeah.
But and okay, so obviously like creative communities and scenes like that with the tattoo community and arts and creation, just creation.
Yeah, just anything that's just creative.
Right.
Yeah.
They, like kind of go hand in hand. And so do you feel like there's like some parallels between like your tattoo journey and your fashion design journey? Because obviously both are a big part of you, right?
Yeah, I would say like the tattoo part would probably just be more just like the fun, you know, just creative side of who I am.
Uh-huh.
And then like fashion will be like something that I truly like love. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just more of like I don't even know if that made sense. Did that make sense?
No?
I was like, did that make sense? Yeah, I was like, I don't even think that made sense, but I don't know. I just like tattoos. I was just like, it's all me, you know. But you know, Jooniverse was like more like the art of just having it seen on other people, and I think that really brought me joy. You know what I mean?
Huh.
Yeah, because a lot of times I don't really like wear a lot of my pieces, and I think it's interesting because I just don't. And then David, you know, he always be telling me, he's like, why don't you ever like wear your pieces? I'm just like, I don't, to me, they're like art pieces, you know? And I was like, I would rather see it on my best friends and families and stuff like that than to see it on myself, because I was just like, well, I created it, you know, and it's nice to just see you have it. You know what I mean? So I feel like that was like straying away from the question though, my bad.
No, you're good. Like, because I mean, the whole purpose of this is to literally just get your stream of thought.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
I'm very scattered brain, so it's just like my mind goes like just randomly. So
yeah, no, that's awesome. And like,
yeah,
I feel like it kind of just it fits in with like art and shit though too, because like
yeah,
you gotta like think a little funky at times in order
Yeah.
to come up with like interesting, unique ideas.
yeah, facts.
You know.
Yeah, true.
And so, but like so when you first started making clothes and stuff, right? Did you, or even just now, do you specifically think about how it's going to look on other specific types of people, or just people in general? Or do you think about how it's going to look on you personally first and then others? Or like, how does all of that work?
Like this, I guess you're kind of like asking like the design process
Yeah.
of how I
Yeah.
view it. I base it off of like how I would want to wear it if I were to just, you know, I would base it off of me first, and then I basically build like kind of like the pattern around my body, but then I tweak it because I'm just like, not everyone's body is like the same. So I try to find that like, you know, perfect medium where it's just like, you know, it can fit anyone, almost anyone, like if possible, you know what I'm saying? And like that's kind of like the goal. That's why we have like a very wide body, you know, garments and cropped and stuff like that. I personally just think it looks better proportionally when it comes to like, you know, having a nice crop top and then, you know, just really wide pants or flare pants or whatever, you know, it may be. But I just think of proportions when I'm designing in my head, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. And so, and then also backtracking a little bit, did you have any specific moments where like, oh shit, like this person like really loves the piece that I made, or like just moments of like really big gratification that kind of,
Oh man,
you know?
sure, yeah. Especially like I think I'll have that the most. I feel like whenever, you know, I do like photo shoots with people, videos with people, you know, like after we're done shooting and stuff like that. Everyone's just having a good time. We just have a little chit chat and talk, or at pop-ups where, you know, people would just come up to me and just be like, hey, you know, like I've been following you for a really long time and I just really love what you're doing. And I'm just like, you know, I just feel honestly like, you know, it's a surreal moment, you know. I try to take it all in. I'm not really good with taking compliments, you know, because I feel like at an age my mom never it's just never, you know, in the Asian household you never just got praised for anything.
Childhood trauma.
You know what I mean? So it's just like it's very hard for me to accept that, but like when people do genuinely just come up and just talk about things like that, and I can just see it in their eyes that they're just like very just even happy to just be there and be a part of like, you know, the experience. And you know, I definitely take those very close. You know, I hold that very close to me, for sure.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense too, because you're obviously an extremely humble dude. You know, and I feel like even right now, I feel like, no, please, fuck off. You know.
Yeah.
But, like,
it took a lot of maturing. Yeah, for sure. I was very angry as a child. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. I tell people all the time, I'm just like, if you met me like 3-4 years ago, I was different, totally different person. I was very, you know, I was like on drugs, like, you know, I just didn't know who I was, and I was very toxic and just, you know, always, I just felt like I was just not fun to be around, you know. But I had to switch that around because I felt like I was, you know, just hurting a lot of people around me, and you know, just learning from those experiences and just having to grow, you know, because I was just like, I can't tell somebody that I truly like, you know, care about them and stuff like that, but I treat them like shit, or, you know, just always angry at something and breaking shit or something. And I'm just like, but now it's just like, you know, as growing up now, I'm just like, man, that's, you know, it's not worth it. Like, you have to consider other people's feelings as well, like, you know, and just, you know, treat people the way that you want to be treated, you know. And I guess like that's something that's why a lot of people are just like, oh, you're so humble. I'm just like, oh, you don't know. I used to be so bad.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just, you know, growing. It just, you know, in this journey of life, you know, for sure.
100%. Okay, so what did, I guess, that initial journey kind of look like? Because obviously, like, was it just one big light switch that flipped for you and then you instantly changed? Or how did you slowly, I guess, progress to who you are?
I think...
Because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that can relate, because I totally can as well.
You know, I think it was a turning point in my life was whenever I came home, cracked out of my mind, and I looked at my mom, and she was just like, "You been out all night?" And she was just like, I was like, "Yep." And then she was just like, you know, she just gave me that look, and then like she just like knew I was just on some shit. And I looked at her and I was just like, man, like she did not raise me to be this person, you know. And I just felt like I got so lost. And I think that moment was whenever I realized, I was just like, man, this life isn't really what I wanted or want anymore, you know. I mean, yeah, there's fun and stuff like that, but I was just like, you know, that was just something. I felt like I was getting in, if I were to just like continue that path, then I would have never been here now. And I was just like, nah, I want to pursue like, you know, fashion. And I was just like, that's what I truly love to do. And I think that's kind of like a turning point in my life. Was whenever, like, you know, my mom gave me that look, and I was just like, oh no, I can't disappoint her like that. Like, you know, I was just like, oh no, like this is not it, you know. So
no, yeah, I definitely relate to that too, because, you know, even though I personally didn't have like the best relationship with my parents growing up, because, you know, super strict and stuff.
Yeah, same.
And they're just like, you know, even to this day, they're like, gave me shit about tattoos and
Yeah,
stuff, piercings,
my mom hated it.
the way I dress, and like all of that.
Why are you wearing that? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like, are you gay now? I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
I don't think
Like-
so. I think I still like girls.
Yeah.
That could just be between us, you know.
True.
Little
But
intimate moment.
let me think. Fuck. Fuck. What did I ask you? Like, what was that question? Oh, that's right. Okay. So I guess at what point was, if there was like a big moment of realization where like, oh shit, like I've changed for the better.
Well, okay.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I like who I am now.
You know, like I said previously, I think I'm just really hard on myself. I always feel like I can be better, you know, a better person. And I find ways of just like trying to be you know, just better than yesterday. And I think that's like something that I always work on internally. But you know, takes a lot of like therapy and stuff like that to find like that inner peace, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because you mentioned earlier that you really struggled with depression, and do you feel like maybe that like fuels a little bit of your drive to want to like lean into creativity and stuff?
Yeah,
to
I
do
think
things that you love?
yeah, I think I suppressed a lot of my emotions. So instead of like me being like depressed all the time, which is like majority of the time, I'm just like, you know what? Let's just get things done. Right? And so I just shift into the creative side of me, and I feel like that's helps me like with my depression and whatnot, because I'm just like, well, you know, you're doing what you love, and like that, you know, that makes me, you know, at the end of the day, like happy and, you know, feeling content about it. So I think that's like something that I'm working towards for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's good like to suppress the emotions. But I am like kind of like analyzing it, you know, as I'm growing through this journey of life.
Yeah, still figuring it all out.
Yeah.
Trying to do more things that are fulfilling, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
That makes me happy, you know, and I'm just like, you know, like let's just not be sad. There's life's beautiful. Like let's just kind of find the little things in life to, you know, make the day better or make the day go by, you know, a lot easier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Do you do a lot of like, I guess, self-reflection, but like, this was amazing, and like you really congratulate yourself, or
No.
does it get just overpowered by the like, I should have done this better?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's just more of like, that was cool. And then in my head, you know, I'd be like, damn, I could have done that better. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like I'm tweaking it, and I'm just like, you know, in my head, I'm just like, oh, we could have done this, like, I could have done this, and you know, and it kind of helps though at the same time, because it's just like, it makes me better at, you know, making content and, you know, making art for, you know, for people that enjoy it, you know, just watching, and it's just, I don't know, yeah. I think I'm just very critical of myself. I don't really ever really congratulate myself. Like I don't really celebrate birthdays or like holidays or anything like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like it wasn't really like any of that. Like a lot of it whenever growing up, you know, like as kids, like, you know, you have those like kids parties and stuff like that. But at a certain age, like, you know, your family, like, at least my family, just stopped, and like we just never celebrated like the holidays or, you know. So I was just like, to me, it was just like every day is just like another day. And so it's like hard for me for when someone's just like, oh, you know, like congratulate on this, or like happy birthday, or like, hey, you know, Merry Christmas. And I'm just like, oh, well, thanks. You know, I'm like, cool.
Okay, because yeah, I was gonna ask you if like you celebrate yourself ever.
I don't know. I feel like I have like, you know, my homies be like always, you know, celebrating me, and I just appreciate that, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I think, you know, I would always tell them like this isn't a home to me.
What do you mean this?
Like as in like the studio space, like, you know, like the, you know, all this, like, you know,
Uh-huh.
like this roof over my head, like this doesn't feel like a home to me, right? It's just being surrounded by the people that care about you and love you, like that's home to me. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was like super out of the question, but I don't know why I was ranting about that. Oh, bad.
No, dude, you literally, you don't have to apologize.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and like, no, because I also really relate to that as well. Because I know obviously I haven't known each other for that long, because I've only been in a modeling and then creative space in general for the past like 6 months now.
Yeah, but you made it such an impact already, bro.
Yeah, thank you, dude.
Yeah,
I
of course.
like really try, and because like, and I think I maybe talked a little bit about this in my interview yesterday with Justin Case. Shout out to Justin.
Justin.
For a really long time, always had like a really deep sense of loneliness, right? And even though I like was surrounded by friends,
Yeah, you always
right?
feel like you're alone in a room.
Yeah,
Like even if you're surrounded by people that you love, I think that's like, yeah, I relate to that a lot too, bro. Like I can walk into a room and I still feel alone.
yeah, and it fucking sucks, right? And but I've realized a big part of that though is because the people I was surrounding myself with didn't truly understand me, and I didn't feel like I really belonged and felt truly valued, right? Because you can value the friendship of somebody,
Right.
and then you can also like have friends where like maybe in my case it was a lot of creativity and like embracing stuff of who I am. So you could like dress super interesting, show up in these
Right.
sick fits,
Yeah.
and people are like, oh, that's a really interesting, cool outfit or whatever. I like it, but
It
that
feels
perspective,
genuine,
it may be genuine, but
may
it's more like someone that is staring at a really pretty like gorilla or some shit. Like it's like admiring an exotic
Right.
thing, right? And I talk about this in I think my last episode as well with Justin, but it's like people appreciating it, but they don't understand you.
Right.
They can't relate. They're not other beautiful gorillas or whatever,
Yeah.
and so the friends that I have, although they were great and stuff, I didn't really connect with them, and they weren't fulfilling that deeper need I had for people that truly understood just all my creative needs and wants and things that I truly loved. And like, I didn't want my passions to be my friends' novelties. I wanted it to be their actual passions as well.
So you wanted to surround yourself with more like-minded people. Like,
Yeah.
you're not saying that your friends are bad or anything like that, but it's just more just like you wanted to surround yourself with people that understood and like viewed the world as you did in a sense. Yeah, I feel that.
That can like truly stand on the same ground as
Yeah.
And so once I finally jumped into the whole creative community here, that's when I really felt like that loneliness just disappears slowly, very slowly.
And you start blossoming. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, at times I still feel it here or there, but for the most part, like now, like
Yeah.
I just
If you're surrounded by the right people, you're gonna feel exactly where you need to be.
and
Yeah.
not even just like feeling fulfilled in that regard either, but like be even more driven because I'm constantly seeing these amazing people like you yourself, right? Just absolutely killing it with like your clothing brand and you're doing all of these amazing things, right? And it just really inspires me to want to keep pushing and to get to that level as well, and then to just keep going.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because same, like I'm very much like a giver in a lot of ways, and probably because I don't know, childhood trauma as well.
Yeah.
Like Asian parents
I
and
think we
shit.
give because
we didn't get
we
that,
didn't get that.
and so we want to give
Exactly.
others that
Exactly.
love
And you just don't want people to feel the way that you felt.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's why. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm a huge giver. No, that's beautiful, bro. Like that was, thank you for sharing that. That was really cool.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that, for sure, 100%. I think the main thing that I usually do is just I struggle with is just like I suppress a lot of my emotions. So like when people like ask me about like my emotions, I usually just kind of like deflect. I'm just like, oh no, I'm good. But check out this pizza I made. I'm like, check out this
really happy sweater I made that
Yeah.
soaked in my tears.
right. Yeah. You like it? Like you fuck with it?
Please.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's like, hey, wait, I was just talking about like, are you okay? Like, I'm like, well, check out this hat. No, but I can definitely relate to that 100%, bro. No, it's super true though. Going to therapy, it talks a lot about like surrounding yourself with just people that, that makes you happy, at the end of the day, and it's okay to say no. And I think that was like super hard in the beginning for me because I was a yes man all the time, and learning to just saying no to people and creating a family, people that genuinely that I care about and that are just as fashionable, if not more creative than I am, and just in a sense like we're just all like just feeding off of each other's energy, and it's like just something special, like that's what I always want to surround myself with, and I'm sure you do too,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
When it comes to like your fashion and creation and all of this shit, do you feel like it's your way of being vulnerable then? Because as you said, you struggle a little bit with being vulnerable with others.
Nah, I wouldn't say like vulnerability would be the word.
Okay.
I think it was just showing people more of just like my creative side, and I got that dog in me, like just showing that like aggressive like passion that I have, you know. But of course doing it gracefully. You know what I'm saying? Because I you know, used to be very just crazy and just belligerent, and but I was just like, it's a different channeling now. Like I channel that into like my pieces, and like going hard on like, you know, just photo shoots, being very picky, and like instead of being angry at like other people because I wasn't happy with myself, like now I'm just like more critical on just what I do, you know, and how it can, you know, translate into like an art form. So like I think I wouldn't say that it's like vulnerability is what I'm, you know, I think it's more of just like showing people what I'm made of.
Right.
And just like in a sense like proving myself that I can do it if I put my mind to it. And I think that's just something that I will say that I'm very proud of, I would say, because like if I were to set my mind to something, then it can be done. I will always find a way to get it done, you know. And I think that that's what really drives me, and, you know, keeps me away from just being, you know, depressed, and being surrounded by really good people also like just only elevates you, you know. And my thing is just like, I always tell people, I was just like, my team, we don't lose, you know. We never lose, like we don't, like, you know, everyone's just doing dope shit. Like at the end of the day, like it's just like nobody's losing on this side. Like we're all elevating, you know, together, as a community, as like you know, like a group. So I would just say it's just more, I guess, going back to what you said, yeah, it's not vulnerability. I think it's just more of just like proving myself, like, you know, I see the potential in me, so it's just like bringing that out, and you know, just going hard, and, you know, doing it gracefully, and of course like meeting people and just making sure that I leave like a really good impression on them, and, you know, having them work with me again. You know, I think that's something that is important, as to building a foundation for it. So yeah.
Proving and building your own value, and having other people
just
recognize that.
Yeah, and then, you know, and just inspiring, if I can, you know, that'd be even amazing, because, you know, I like to tell people, I'm just like, if I can do this, like you can too.
And
You know, I'm not special. You know, I'm just consistent. That's it. You know, like I just feel like, you know, people are just like, oh, you got a talent for it. Like, yeah, you know, I have like a certain good eye for certain things, but at the end of the day, it's just more, it's just like, my work ethic really overdrives the talent that I would say that I have, I think. But yeah.
And I mean, once again, as I said, you've definitely inspired me personally, right?
Oh, thanks, man.
And like also,
Success.
I really do believe that you are talented and you are special, but not in the sense where like, oh, I'm like a one of a kind, completely unique individual. I'm a fucking god among men. Fuck you guys.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
Kanye.
no.
You know, like not like that, but like you are special, right? And
Yeah.
that's why like so many other people are here to support you, and they believe in you, and they believe in the vision and stuff, and they see that in you, right?
Yeah, that's just me being hard on myself.
Yeah, right. And but yeah, and so I guess my last big question would just be, what does happiness mean to you then?
Happiness. I think, fuck, I don't know, man. I think happiness for me would be truly being surrounded by people that love you, and doing what you love, and enjoying the little things in life, like not worrying about tomorrow, but living in the now, and just appreciating what, you know, just to wake up every day and to, you know, play this game of life, you know. But I don't know, man. I don't really have the answer for that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll come back to it next year. But,
Hopefully.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm still finding that. I think I'm truly still figuring that part out.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Such a simple question, but to me, it's so like I don't know how to explain it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, well, yeah, because it is one of those things where like you're one, it's constantly changing as you
Yeah.
change.
You know.
And then two, like
Seasons
there's
change.
so many things that can make you happy.
Right.
And
Like
so,
food makes me happy. Like I don't know. Eating good food makes me happy. Like cooking for my homies make me happy. But it's just like true happiness. I don't know. I guess there's a little bit of everything, or life has to offer. I guess.
Yeah.
You know? Like all the little things.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, like you mentioned being surrounded by friends who truly love you and stuff,
Yeah.
and then be able to create and do something that you're passionate about. And you have at least those two
Yeah.
really going for you at this point.
Yeah. And I think I just enjoy those little moments, you know, and I just take that and I just go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just go. So I can go.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
thank you once again, dude.
No, man.
For
Thank you for
an
having.
amazing interview and stuff like
Of
that.
course. Yeah.
And so,
Thank you for coming by and helping out with the video. You know, it's gonna be super dope. You know, check out Jerry.
100% appreciate that. And then, like, I guess, what new big things do you have lined and planned up? And what can people expect from you?
Well, you know, we're shooting for next, or I guess this month's campaign. So, you know, we're working pretty much the next 3 weeks. A lot of traveling, a lot of photo shoots and stuff like that. Dropping this new upcoming collection. Yeah,
When is the new collection coming?
I would say in the next 3 weeks. So it's
Oh,
grind
shit.
time.
It's coming up soon.
It's coming soon. Yeah.
Be on the lookout.
Yeah. So I don't know when this video is dropping, but maybe it'll drop before then. So.
No, it definitely will. I
Oh,
edit pretty
okay.
fast.
Oh, well, there you go.
And so,
There you go. So
yeah, awesome.
this will
And-
lead up to it then.
Yeah, and where can people find you, reach you, whatever?
You know, at Aboo Nguyen, that's my personal, and then my brand page is at Jooniverse Lab. So
And I'll put a link and everything
Yeah.
down below somewhere,
Yeah,
all
put the
that
link,
shit.
yeah.
And so, cool. Any closing thoughts before we wrap this up?
I just want to say that, you know, I just hope that you continue to do this. You know, I think that you have a really true talent for it. I think you're really good at asking questions and even asking like personal and like very deep, meaningful questions. And I think you should continue doing that throughout the whole community of Dallas. And I just wish you nothing but the best. And,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So just don't give up on it.
Thank you.
It's just the beginning.
It really is.
Yeah, because I think from now we're gonna look back at this interview and then we're gonna be different stages in our life, and it's gonna be better and better. Like the content's gonna be better and better, the setup's gonna be better. Like, you know what I mean? So just continue to do that, bro.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
of course.
So,
Of course, man.
that is sick. Oh, fuck. My abs are cramping.
Heck yeah. Talk to the night. It's not that boy posting that photo, bro.
Sunny day, make way. All the stress and doubt, yeah, not today. Feels like it's been a freaking decade. Sorry, don't call me, cause I'm gonna be on break. Got the Tropicana, fresh cut sushi on a platter. Brandy, honey, it don't matter shots. Till I drop.